This is Corey Willis with PPEI, and you're listening to the Diesel Podcast.
I'm Adam Blattenberg from Diesel World.
This is Dan, owner of Dan's Diesel Performance.
I'm Braden Fleece, and you're listening to the Diesel Podcast.
What is going on, Diesel Nation? We're excited to have you guys with us today on the Diesel Podcast. This episode is continuing our SEMA coverage, and Adam Blattenberg, the editor of Diesel World magazine, guest hosted the podcast for us, and he got a chance to talk with Stealth Performance Products there at the convention center, and we're really excited to hear what he talked to them about, more about Stealth Performance Products, and some really cool builds that they saw at the show there. So it's we've seen Stealth Performance Products out there for a long time, and really interested to get some insights into their company and their products and what they do for Cummins, Duramax, and Powerstroke trucks. All right, we're going to pass this on over to Adam and have him chat with the Stealth Performance Products crew and learn more about what they have going on for newer diesel trucks.
Hey guys, this is Adam Blattenberg with Diesel World. We are here at SEMA 2019. I'm talking right now with Eric and Jeff from Stealth Performance.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, guys. Thanks for taking the time.
Great, thanks for coming hanging out.
Yeah, they got a pretty crazy little booth here. I'll make a post on Diesel World's Facebook page so you guys can see it if you want to check it out. But how's the show been for you guys?
Oh, it's been great. We've been networking with a lot of good companies, and we really look forward to some of the innovation that's coming out here.
Yeah.
And we've had a great response. I mean, we're surprised by how many people are actually running a module here.
Yeah.
There's definitely a ton of tow trucks. A ton of show trucks, but mostly everyone's like, oh yeah, I got it in my tow rig.
Yeah, nice. Well, every time I've walked by, your booth has been busy.
Oh yeah,
It's
it's
been
been
good to
pretty
see.
slammed. Yeah.
It's good. You guys get a chance to walk the show?
A little bit. We kind of catch a break when he's not running around doing whatever he's doing, but get a chance to go meet a lot of vendors and stuff because that's been the most rewarding part for me here is communicating and networking with everybody else. Seeing and meeting people who actually build stuff. It's not just what they post on social media, or whatever, but actually shaking somebody's hand that they put the time and effort into, a 1,000-hour build or something like that. Actually seeing the work in person.
Get to see it up close instead of on a tiny little screen.
Yeah.
And did you guys see anything? What was your favorite or least favorite thing that you saw?
God, there's been a lot of good stuff, honestly. It's. I feel like this is my first SEMA, coming to it, and there's a lot of diversity.
Yeah.
I say we're pretty big into the overlanding and like the RV and towing stuff that kind of relates to the module, but there's been I would honestly say this green Chevy, just a few goes down from us.
I'm just in function is style to me. So there's a lot of things here that I wouldn't consider stylish, that they might. And come on. And so there's just a lot of long travel kits and cool traction bars and stuff that really seem to where they're focused on them actually working instead of just being shiny, and I love that.
SEMA trucks are generally a lot of paint and chrome. So it's nice to see. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
It's if it's innovative, it's different. It was hard to do, or
Right.
like there's people who are listening to these podcasts are going to hear me say this many times, and I can't remember the right phrase, but rat rods.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's people don't like that phrase, but there's a couple rat rods style out front.
Doodle bugs is another way to call it too.
What is it?
Doodle bugs, yeah. When they take the old Model Ts and they put huge tires on them and big engines, kind of like that Camaro and Mustang out there, when it's just kind of obnoxiously insane.
Yeah.
I love that style. Yeah.
There's one out there that has a pancake engine in it.
Yeah.
I've seen it from 50, 60 feet away, so I don't know exactly what it looked like. An opposing piston.
Right.
Pancake engine in it. Just thought that was really cool. 2 turbos sitting off the side, but there was, when you say innovative, there was another one that had motorcycle tires, motorcycle wheels. It was running 2 and 2 on each corner.
Oh, that's cool.
It was just like, how do you pull that off and make that work right? But
a lot of engineering. There's a lot of smart people out there. There's a lot of good, small-time guys in their garage. They got a little machine shop, passed down by their grandfather, taught them how to use a lathe and something. Getting their hands dirty, building stuff like this. It's really cool to be able to see it, especially showcased at an event where maybe this is a business opportunity for them. Or they just want to be like, hey, this is sweet.
Yeah.
Check it out.
That's how a lot of, companies in this industry started. Well, and especially more so in the diesel industry is, guys that just came up with some idea and put it on their tractor and, their buddies wanted one and then more and more buddies wanted it and it turned into this big business,
Yeah.
Actually,
yeah, right, exactly. It sounds like you're describing how we started. I mean, honestly, I never had the dream of becoming some big nationwide business where, there's probably had 100 people come up to us at the booth telling us about how they would love the module, their friends love it, and all the dealers and stuff. I mean, it just came from a simple thing of just diesels have a lot of lag, and they get the power ratings on on paper, but then when you drive it, it's like, it feels like my wife's Prius has more pep than this. But where's that 400 horsepower and 900 foot-pounds you're talking about? And that's kind of what we got into is just genuinely providing a service and trying to make people happy. Giving them a solution where they don't have to do a bunch of modifications. They don't have to be blowing smoke and doing, going down this slippery slope of modifications. I was even just talking to the Baja Kits guys about my F-150, and the thing is, if I'm going to upgrade the shocks, then I want to do a full race kit, because I mean, once you start, where do you end?
Yep.
Yeah, everything needs long travel, no
Yeah.
matter what it is.
So that's what I love about this is that most of the people, they come from heavily modified vehicles, and they got rid of it to go buy a new one, and they want to keep it fairly stock or whatever, and they don't want to kill the resale value. And,
We've all been there.
Yeah.
Gone too far with the truck.
Yeah.
And said, you know what? I liked it when it just had a tune on it. It would
Right.
just be good there.
Yes, yeah. I do it all the time, yeah. And then the end result is I end up chopping up with a Sawzall and putting 4-link and all this crazy stuff and crash it and roll it.
Then it's ruined. Next thing.
Yeah, exactly.
You're looking for a new daily driver.
Yeah, but now they're $90,000 trucks, so you gotta be careful which route you go.
That's where my truck is right now. It's sitting on the side yard because I went too far with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Hashtag not ruined, right?
The $12,000 transmission, hurts the first time, but it really hurts the second time. So
Yeah. Well, I think the big thing that really set us apart when we were coming into the industry and making a name for ourselves, and even to this day, like I was telling you earlier, I take tech calls on my cell phone 24/7, and there's not many companies out there that will do that. And we're very customer based, just all about customer service, and we try to relate to people and put ourselves in their shoes.
So let's tell everyone who doesn't know what you guys do, what exactly you do. You make inline modules?
Yeah, so this is basically,
modules?
it's like a standalone computer, standalone module. It plugs in line with factory style connectors. And it's if you can unhook a factory connector underneath the hood, then you'd be able to plug in the module. And it leaves all the stock safety parameters in place, so it doesn't risk any harm. It's not married to the vehicle. You can pull it out, put it on something else. It doesn't leave a footprint because it doesn't reprogram it. There'd never be a history of reprogramming the truck because it never reprogrammed it.
Right. No codes, no.
Yeah, so it's just basically if you just want to make the truck run like it's supposed to from the factory, then this is the answer for you. If you want to blow smoke, do wheelies, and hang out in Walmart parking lot with your hood up, then you're probably not going to want one.
Go somewhere else.
Yeah, this is most people that have these modules on it, you never even know until you ride in their truck and you're like, whoa, something's a little different here.
This is for, everyone thinks the big 2,000 horsepower, is, gotta have that. No, you don't.
Right. Well, there's
don't.
There's a huge difference between wide open throttle dyno figures, so if most driving is done quarter to half throttle, below 2,200 RPM, then why would you base your decision off of what the output is at wide open throttle at 2,500 RPM? If 90-something% of situations just normal driving, just pulling out into traffic and having the confidence where you feel like you're not going to get T-boned, or as a hill's coming up, you roll into the throttle and have that low end grunt to just pull up the hill instead of a good example is let's say a 2015 LML. Anything below half throttle, it's almost like you didn't even tell it anything until you hit half throttle, and then all of a sudden it starts to wake up. This just gives it that 4-stroke style power curve where it has that low end chug.
It's a more usable power band.
Yes.
It builds that confidence in the vehicle that you should be able to rely on. You get used to it, you expect it, and then you drive it like that. And,
Right.
That's where the efficiency side comes in. It's all what your right foot does. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you're trying to run 10s in the quarter or whatever, you send us a video of you roasting your brand new 35s off of it, and you're like, yeah, this is the greatest thing in the world, but why does my fuel economy suck? We're like, well, half your tires are on the ground, so
Well, so that's a struggle that we've had, is because most of our reviews, most of our customers, most of the comments from people, all that stuff, everyone's always talking about how impressed they were with their mileage gains, and I just know there's way too many factors involved to guarantee mileage. Like, there's no modification you can put on the truck, and
You can't control someone's lead foot either.
yeah,
Correct.
it's all about if you use the power responsibly. So we don't advertise based off mileage. We, if someone calls and they say, well, the only reason I want it is to gain mileage, then I say, well, then don't buy it, because I'm not going to tell you that. I always treat them like they're that 5% or whatever of people that won't see it, just in case, because the same person on sales is going to be answering tech calls. And so I'd say it's pretty common to see 2 to 3 miles to the gallon improvement, but it's really dependent on so many different factors that
Of course.
I just stay away from that.
Yeah. Depends on the vehicle. If it's lifted vehicle, it's probably not going to see as much.
Right.
If you're a hot rod, that's with anything.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's something I joke about when people ask me or about mileage is I use as an example where they're like, oh, I can really feel the power, but I'm just not seeing the mileage. Like, well, stop feeling the power so much.
Use the power as you need it, not to hot rod from one stoplight to the next.
Right. Use the power to hold higher gears, keep your RPMs down. I don't even know how I drag myself into this mileage talk, because I always try to avoid it as much as I can.
it's like you said, it's kind of a hot topic, and
It really is, yeah.
and there's a lot of products out there that they'll guarantee you the world. Like, hey, buy this tune, whatever. Your house's resale value will go up 25%. And they promise you the world, and then you get it, and you're like, well, whatever. But I think that's the big advantage a lot we have is we're really transparent about everything.
Right.
We're not going to run or produce a product that we wouldn't personally use. I mean, we all use modules on our vehicles every day. I personally had one on my truck for going on 3 years now. We stuff modules on everything, from the Powerstroke to your Duramax.
Yeah, I'll put it on my wife's, like, if my wife's driving to drop the kids off, got 2 kids in the car, driving a couple 100 miles away, 100 miles or whatever. It's not like I have to worry and take it off.
It's smart, clean power.
Right.
Put it on, and you don't have to worry about it.
You're not looking over your shoulder. It's not a big leap of faith.
Right.
If you don't like it, something happens. Let's say you burn up a wire, or let's say you're driving down the road and you just decide for whatever reason you're mad and you light the thing on fire and start smashing it with the hammer while the truck's running and you get your foot to the floor. The thing will maybe throw some lights, reduce engine power because it lost signal. You pull it out, you plug it back in factory and just keep driving down the road. Try doing that with some other options out there. It would just never happen, because once you start messing around with the brain, it becomes a whole nother deal.
It's simple to put in too. User installed. His harnesses are really clean. Probably not going to see much of anything under the hood if you don't want to.
No. We recommend removing it before service, just to avoid unnecessary questions, and so they can properly diagnose it. Because a tech, they only know factory. Like, I'm sure you've been into dealers before, and they give you a hard time about an intake or aftermarket shocks or anything that they don't understand. So, with something that's plugging in line, manipulating a reference signal, you want them to diagnose a problem, you got to pull whatever's manipulating that out.
Right.
Because otherwise they'll just open up the hood and be like, oh, I see something aftermarket, found that's the problem, and shut the hood.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's definitely it's a nice solution, because you don't have to. It's just not that big leap of faith. You don't have to spend $1,000, kill your resale value, remove emissions, things like that. This works on a completely stock truck, and it doesn't interfere with emissions. It doesn't control it or manipulate it in any way. The truck
doesn't increase regens or anything like that.
No. It
should decrease probably.
it's always tough. It's all about the right foot.
Yeah.
So even factory, it's all about your driving habits. Like if you're in town, like we're in Vegas right now, if you're driving up and down the strip, putting back and forth, a stock truck is just going to be regenning constantly because it can't clean itself, and you're punching it every stoplight and things like that. So as long as you understand the whole regen process and how to keep your system healthy, there's no reason you'd have any issues with this.
But no one needs to, your end user doesn't need to do anything differently with this. We're talking about regen just because, but an end user plug this thing in and drive their truck just like they would any other time. They'll just have more power.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I think it's just something like if anyone buys any new like Tier 4 diesel emissions equipment, that I think they should be familiar with what regen is and how things go. Like even if you have a tractor, there's so many people getting stuck out in fields because the thing goes into reduced engine power because of stuff. So, but yeah, that's not something we get involved in, and it's not something that we risk any harm with. And you'd always just pull it out and go in for service just like you would a factory truck.
What model years do you cover?
So we have, for the most part, it's newer diesels. Like that's the majority of our sales. But we do have the Powerstroke back to 01? 99 for the 7.3. Okay. And then the Cummins, we get it back to 03. The Duramax, we didn't go back too far yet. We get the LML and the L5P, so that's starts at 11. But we have, as the newer applications come out, we're really big on getting those out as fast as we can.
You guys looking into a 19 Ram?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's currently what we're working on right now.
Okay.
It's in our development facility, strapped to the dyno.
Nice.
We've taken a lot of readings, done a lot of testing. We've definitely seen some good improvements. I got a 5500 Ram at the shop that, without the module, I mean, the thing is just a total dog. I don't know if you've ever driven one of those, but the gas pedal's like an on-off switch. Yeah. But I was able to get it lighten the tires up right out front, dry pavement, friggin' blowing smoke.
They're great once you get them rolling, but
Yeah.
You know what you mean. They're not as great below. So the idea is obviously it's changing power band when the power comes on sooner. Do you claim any horsepower?
Yeah. There's some power gains. So the big thing is so we're bringing fuel pressure up to where it should be much sooner, bringing your boost up to where it should be much sooner, but not past. We're not trying to push the limits of what it's capable of going to. We're just trying to get it there where it should be. So we do see an improvement, 50, 60 horse, 100 foot-pounds of torque, something like that. I mean, it varies depending on application and truck and stuff. But again, you're talking wide open throttle. So the big thing is when you hit, as you roll into the throttle, the power's there when you need it. It's like smooth, predictable power delivery.
So correct me if I'm wrong here, you're looking kind of at when a vehicle starts to make its power, and you're just reducing that time for the most part to when it gets there. So it's not anything crazy. It's just
you're just moving it.
Moving the power band down.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But you still have it. It's still you have a broader power band.
Yeah, we have a broader. Is it greater? There's more power for sure. There is, and it's further across the whole RPM range.
Yeah.
So it's basically kind of takes it from like a two-stroke style power curve where there's a lot of lag followed by a sudden surge, and it makes it more like a four-stroke where you get that good low RPM chug and it like pulls like a freight train down low.
Or like a set of compounds or a VGT versus a big single.
Right, exactly. It's almost like a supercharger versus a turbocharger.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Instant power.
We can keep doing it. I like these analogies.
It's like fire versus microwaves, whatever.
Fire versus microwaves. It's charcoal and propane.
Yeah. Taste the meat, not the heat.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Thanks, Hank.
Now we're talking.
So what's so you got the 19 Ram, L5P, new Ford. I guess you kind of got it all covered. The 19 Ram's not out yet, obviously, but
the 2020s we're really excited to get to. A lot of times people say, well, if this is so great, why doesn't say Ford do it already, or why doesn't the manufacturer do this? And There's a few different reasons. I mean, they're always conservative. They leave room for improvement. And I mean, really, they can just do a software update and gain another 30, 40, 50 horse.
It's the horsepower war.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It's how convenient. GM comes out next year. They make just a little bit more.
And when you look at it, I mean, this is what they did. I mean, that's what Ram did this last year, was bring that rail pressure up faster to get more power and more. And that's what the 2020 Powerstroke's going to do. I mean, they literally are. That is what they're doing.
Right.
And we're just kind of trying to give you that little extra one up. I mean, because I grew up like where I never had like really crazy sports cars or anything like that. But whatever I drove, I wanted it to have that pep and that confidence where like, I could do a little burnout at a light, or I could, kick it out a little bit when I pull out into traffic, or just that little something. And
you need passing power or merging power. Having power is actually safe. It's safer to drive a vehicle with power as long as you're not being stupid with it.
Yeah.
Versus pulling out into traffic and getting rear-ended.
Right. And I get those calls a lot from people, especially with Cummins, where they feel like they're going to get T-boned as they're pulling out into traffic.
Yeah.
And that's
or climbing a grade.
Yeah.
Climbing a grade with a trailer, 6% grade in a 30,000-pound trailer, impeding traffic.
Yeah. That's the thing, because you get the 400 or 500 horsepower, 900,000 foot-pounds of torque, but where the hell is it? It's like, only at wide open throttle and only in this narrow window. It's not realistic usable power. You can have a quarter of that power, but when you actually need it, and it's a lot more functional than twice as much where you don't need it, and you're never going to access it. Like, Jeff's one of those people where he doesn't floor his truck. I've only driven his truck maybe once or twice, and I bet that's the hardest his truck's ever been ran.
Probably. That's a fact.
Yeah, that's not a lie.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of different drivers out there. So, and I have people call all the time asking me, well, how much power does it give? How much power? I know what they're asking, the dyno figures, but that's because that's the only way they know how to measure power.
Right.
But what they don't realize is it has nothing to do. Like, you already have plenty of dyno power. Why, you need more than 900 foot-pounds of torque? It's like, no, I never even floor it. So the difference is just wake the truck up. Just make it feel healthy and not so sluggish.
What 95% of the people out there actually want.
Yeah. Really, it's a silent majority. Because, and the other 5% that don't want that, those are the loudest ones, and those are the most of the people you see on social media.
It's a great point. A silent majority. That's so true. We all think about the high horsepower stuff, but 95% of the people out there aren't buying 700 horsepower, or what am I saying, 1,000 horsepower injectors and big turbos. They're keeping exactly what they have, tuning it a little bit, throwing an intake at it, and exhaust, and done.
Yeah, the deplorables. There it is.
Deplorables, yeah, there you go.
One off the deep end. But yeah, it's true. I mean, like most of our customers, they just have a farm, or it's a full-time RVer, or kind of like a more mature audience than a lot of the shiny stuff you probably see here.
Yeah, they're using their trucks.
Different priorities.
Working with their trucks.
Yeah, because performance is, it's measured by like the ability to be able to accomplish a task effectively or efficiently, not.
It's a definition of work, isn't it?
Yeah, not how fast can it do a quarter mile, because that's so. People's like performance varies depending on the demand. So you can't, like, what someone would consider a good performing truck for them, like if you're trying to build a drag truck, then a 5500 that tows 40,000 pounds or something effortlessly isn't a good performer, but it's someone else that's like the top performer, and that's what people get mixed up on what performance actually is.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where our name came from, really. I mean, stealth performance products, where it's not in your face, blingy, shiny stuff, making a ton of noise. It's just you put it on, and you don't have to worry about it. Nobody's going to see it, and you can remove it before service, and it just makes your truck more fun to drive. That's it.
So if everyone heard that, they're announcing the end of the 2019 SEMA show right now.
Yes, they are.
It's 4 o'clock on Friday.
Yeah.
The whole place is cheering because their feet are killing them.
That's a fact. Gosh, I think my wife and Eric's wife, they were saying they walked like, is it 40 miles this week? You know,
Other than
60.
60 in 3 days.
miles. Yeah, it just, we still
It's so overwhelming.
It is. It's ridiculous. I mean, this show's amazing.
I just really like how, like, we've really settled in, like, these last few years being here. It's so great to see all these good people that we're friends with. You know, it's nice.
Yeah, that is one of the great things about SEMA for me too, is just seeing everyone that I don't see. I mean, or that I haven't seen all year. You know, we go to events and we all get busy at events and don't necessarily get to see everyone. But it's getting loud in here. Everyone's firing up their trucks.
Everybody's getting ready for the parade.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna have to pull out this thing right here.
But luckily, we know our parking spot.
I need to get a hitch on that trailer pretty quick.
Yeah.
Get a 10-inch hitch.
Yeah.
Drop hitch.
Well, I don't want to slow you guys down. You got anything else on your mind? Any?
Not necessarily.
It's been great talking
so we just set up a nice shop up in New Hampshire, and we look forward to doing a bunch of some cool builds in the future, showing off exactly how we do what we do, being having some more interactive content where people can really see behind the scenes, and I think we have a lot of good stuff coming up in the future. I'm really excited with the way everything is going, and there isn't too much I have to say.
Yeah. Well, new facility, that's you got a big facility, so you got to make some changes to pay for it. And that's nice. What's website?
It's stealthmodules.com. We're on Facebook and Instagram. It's Stealth Performance Products.
Stealth Performance. What's your phone number? This is your cell number, isn't it?
Yeah.
888-613-4304.
All right.
Yeah, I've been trying not to pass out my cell.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
he's gonna
it goes to my cell, but if I miss it, it'll roll over.
Yeah, if you have Eric's phone number, just send him memes and he'll respond. But yeah, kind of like you said earlier, you can call us 24/7. I mean, the funniest story I have about him answering the phone call is literally like 30 minutes after his son was born.
Oh gosh.
Like, he's holding his 31-minute-old son on the phone, which I'm helping somebody. So, I guess, Thanksgiving, whatever, call us, we'll help you. It's no big deal. We're all enthusiasts. We love what we do. We enjoy, most of the time.
Always good.
Yeah, I just enjoy what we do, and the ability to be able to travel and meet people. I mean, it's really not a money thing for me. And anyone that's ever dealt with me like a customer, they know. Honestly, it's not about the money. It's about just doing whatever it takes to make it right.
Yeah.
And I look at all these other people. People try to think we're competitors and stuff, and I just think we're a big, happy community. There's no reason to bash anyone else or whatever. I mean, there's no one I have hard feelings with anywhere.
It's a diesel family.
Yeah, and I just try to stay out of whatever negativity is out there.
Yeah. It's good. No, we all see each other too much to be fighting.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah,
and innovation.
Customers out there and stuff. There's no reason to, be attacking each other and stuff.
I completely agree. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, cool. Awesome.
It was good talking to you guys.
Yeah, I really appreciate you stopping by.
Thanks,
no,
Adam.
thank you. This trailer of yours is pretty impressive.
Yeah, we're gonna have it at King of the Hammers.
Oh, really? Oh, gosh. That'll be epic. Yeah, again, I'll post a photo of it so
awesome.
You guys can see it. But yeah, great talking to you guys. Thanks so much. Won't take too much more time while you get out of the show.
All right.
Good deal. Thanks, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Don't forget, Diesel fans, if you have any questions about the products that Adam and the Stealth Performance Products crew chatted about, just go to stealthmodules.com. You can find a lot of information there. And if you have any questions, you can give a call or message into them. They're more than happy to chat with you. We also want to thank Diesel World Magazine and Adam for helping us with SEMA coverage and being able to get some great content from the show and insights from leaders in the diesel performance industry. It's really cool to hear these stories and opinions and things that are going to be coming up for 2020 and beyond. Till next time, keep the shiny side up.